Good evening and welcome inside Appalachian Power Park. Andrew Banstra here on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network, continuing a 13-game road trip for your Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, easily the longest of the season to this point. Southern Maryland has lost 3 of 4 coming into this game. The Blue Crabs, though, still comfortably sit in first place in the Atlantic League North Division, 9.5 games up, make that 8.5 games up on the Long Island Ducks, who the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs just dropped 2 of 3 to on Long Island. Southern Maryland sent Daryl Thompson to the mound last night in incredibly rare form. He found struggles against the Long Island Ducks leading up to today's matchup as your Southern Maryland Blue Crabs visit the Charleston Dirty Birds for the first time in this 2022 season. Live from Charleston, West Virginia, Andrew Banstra here for tonight's action. Mentioned Southern Maryland's 23-7 on the season. In the meantime, the Charleston Dirty Birds find themselves 13-17 on the season. Stan Clyburn and the Blue Crabs trying to turn things around after their first series loss of the 2022 season. 30 games in, Southern Maryland is now 9-1 in series this season, having just lost their first series of the 2022 season. Thrilled to have you joining us here today. Let's get right into the starting lineups. We've got about 12 minutes until first pitch, but let's go right through them. Let's start with the visiting Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, leading off the left fielder, number 9, Jack Sundberg. Batting second, the ever-hot Raul Shaw, the second baseman, wears number 27. Batting third, number 24, Jared Walker, playing first base. In the cleanup spot, the designated hitter, David Harris. Batting fifth for your Blue Crabs, the third baseman, Alex Crosby. Batting sixth, Zach Collier, the center fielder, wears number 8. Batting seventh, Braxton Lee, the right fielder for Southern Maryland. Joe DeLuca gets the start behind the dish. He was signed by the Blue Crabs a few days ago. This is first time starting as a catcher since rejoining the Blue Crabs. Caught more than 110 games for Southern Maryland last year before being picked up by the Cincinnati Reds organization to start this season, where he peaked at the AAA level. Batting ninth and rounding out Southern Maryland's lineup is the shortstop, number 3, Michael Baca. On the mound for the Blue Crabs, it is one of the best pitchers in all of the Atlantic League this season. The southpaw, Denson Hull, wears number 26 in the back of his jersey and has the third best ERA in the entire Atlantic League entering play today with a 1.44 ERA. As a matter of fact, he had a perfect 0 ERA until his very most recent start did Denson Hull, a guy in Denson Hull that's been very, very successful this season. On the other side of the hill, the Blue Crabs will see the right-hander Jordan Stevens. Stevens 0-2 on the year with a 6.82 ERA. Southern Maryland has faced him once this year, fared awfully well, and we'll try to repeat that here this evening on a beautiful night in Charleston, West Virginia. Let's give you the starting lineups now for the home team and the Charleston Dirty Birds. Leading off, the shortstop, number 15, Connor Justice. Batting second, the center fielder, number 9, Anthony Seymour. Batting third, Juan Perez, the right fielder. He's fifth in the Atlantic League in doubles with 9 of them on the year. Batting fourth, Diego Goris, the first baseman, has only played in a handful of games for the Dirty Birds after being signed relatively recently. And he's followed by the fifth hitter in the Dirty Birds lineup, the designated hitter, Angel Beltre, a .260 hitter on the year with 2 home runs for the DH. Batting sixth, the catcher, number 3, Alfredo Gonzalez, just his 4th game this season being played with the Dirty Birds. Batting seventh, Scott Burcham, who started the season as a Southern Maryland Blue Crab, but now finds himself in this Charleston Dirty Birds team, the third baseman for the Dirty Birds this evening. Batting eighth, Miles Williams, the left fielder, wears number 5 on the back of his yellow jersey here at Appalachian Power Park. And rounding out the Dirty Birds lineup, it's the second baseman, number 2, Scott Kelly, who's been on a tear of late, 5 for 14 in his last series played. Kelly, a fan favorite here in Charleston, as he was in Somerset. on a beautiful night here in Charleston, West Virginia. A couple of key players to watch out for this evening. Starting on the Dirty Bird side of things, Juan Perez, the three-hitter in Charleston's lineup, has been on an absolute tear this season. Mentioned he's fifth in the Atlantic League in doubles, but over his last 10 games, he's hitting .417. It's the second best batting average in that span in the entire Atlantic League. As for the Blue Crabs, you got to watch out for David Harris. The designated hitter in the cleanup spot has had his best start to the season of his career, and it's really not that close as a Blue Crab. Harris has 28 RBIs through the first 30 games of the season, fifth most in the Atlantic League, and he's batting .441 in his last 8 games played. David Harris, a true X factor for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, proving it time in and time out. As you see Stan Clyburn and Billy Horn meeting at the plate. Clyburn, your manager this evening, finding himself in his almost 50th year of professional baseball. This, though, his best start in his entire career as a player in the MLB, as a player in the minors, as a manager in the minors, all the way up to the AAA level where he even won a championship. This, his best start of his entire tenured career. And you talk about a guy in Stan Clyburn that's basically done it all. In addition to that, Southern Maryland won 12 straight games earlier this year. Also, not only a franchise record, but in addition to that, the best winning streak in Stan Clyburn's career, as the Blue Crabs continue to warm up down that third base line, wearing their black jerseys with the Maryland sleeves on them. A real clean look as you see Jared Walker and Michael Baca stretching. In comes Raul Shaw. Shaw has been on an absolute tear in this 2022 season and continues to get even better and better. Hasn't had all that many opportunities, or I should say didn't, to start the season, but he has made the absolute most of every opportunity he's gotten in this 2022 season. As you can see, we've got the mountains in the background here at Appalachian Power Park, a really beautiful backdrop here at the stadium. And if we can get it in the frame, I'd really like to show you the Capitol building, because Charleston is the capital of West Virginia, and there it is. It's not quite what you're going to see about 30 minutes away from Waldorf in D.C., but it's a really beautiful backdrop to this stadium here on a pretty Friday night in Charleston, West Virginia. We'll step aside for just a moment. When we come back, it's just about time for Blue Crabs baseball on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Patrick Baker, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
American Radiology is the clear choice for all of your medical imaging needs. With locations in Charles and Calvert counties, they offer a full range of imaging services. Some of their latest innovations included 3D mammography and wide-open MRIs for our claustrophobic patients. For your convenience, they even offer extended weekday hours and Saturdays. For more information or to schedule an appointment, visit their website at AmericanRadiology.com.
this is David Harris, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Welcome back inside Charleston, West Virginia. Andrew Banster here, thrilled to be bringing you the series opener of a 4-game set here this evening between the home Charleston Dirty Birds and your Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Turned out to be a beautiful night here in Charleston, West Virginia, as your 23-7 Southern Maryland Blue Crabs take on the Charleston Dirty Birds. Get back to the starting lineups in just one moment, as your Blue Crabs enter play 23-7 as opposed to the 13-17 Charleston Dirty Birds. As starting lineups are read here at the ballpark, we will give you the starting lineup once more right here on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Andrew Banster here with you live from Charleston, West Virginia. As you can see on the screen, starting lineups read as follows. Start off with the Blue Crabs, Jack Sundberg, followed by Raul Shaw and Jared Walker. Batting fourth, David Harris, a .330 hitter on the year, an absolute monster at the dish. Batting fifth, Alex Crosby, the third baseman, bats from the left side and has 20 RBIs on the season. Zach Collier bats sixth, the center fielder, followed by Braxton Lee, the MLB veteran, bats seventh and plays right field. Batting eighth, the switch-hitting catcher, Joe DeLuca, back behind the dish for the first time in a Southern Maryland uniform since 2021. Michael Baca bats ninth, a .169 hitter on the year, and once more it's Denson Hull on the mound for your Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. The Dirty Birds lineup reads as follows. Connor Justice leads things off with Anthony Seymour batting second. Juan Perez bats third, the right fielder, a .354 hitter on the season, followed by Diego Goris, a first baseman. Batting fifth, Angel Beltre, the MLB veteran, the designated hitter. Batting sixth, Alfredo Gonzalez, the catcher. Batting seventh, Scott Burcham, the third baseman, followed by Miles Williams, the left fielder, and Scott Kelly, the second baseman, once again on the mound for the visiting, make that the home team. The Charleston Dirty Birds, it's their right-hander, number 30, Jordan Stevens. I'll step aside for a moment, but I'll leave the national anthem right here for you on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. A beautiful rendition of the national anthem leads us in to tonight's contest. Andrew Banster here with you live from Charleston, West Virginia on a beautiful night here at Appalachian Power Park. The starting pitcher for the Charleston Dirty Birds takes the mound in Jordan Stevens. Stevens on the season finds himself with an 0-2 record to accompany a 6.82 ERA on the 2022 campaign. On the mound for the Blue Crabs, Denson Hull, the third best ERA in the Atlantic League at 1.44. Jordan Stevens, a couple more numbers on the right-hander that takes the hill this evening. This is seventh start of the season. In his last start, he struggled, allowing 7 earned runs. That was a season high. Did so at Gastonia. 4 innings pitched, allowing 8 hits, 7 runs all earned. 4 home runs allowed in that contest. He struggled his last time out. Jordan Stevens has pitched against the Blue Crabs this year, and it was in his second to most recent start. It was back on May the 14th when he went 6 innings, allowing 4 earned runs, getting the loss. He's 0-2 on the year with a 6.82 ERA. And the right-hander takes the mound facing off against this Southern Maryland Blue Crabs team that comes in at a 23-7 clip despite having lost 3 of their last 4 games. Southern Maryland hadn't lost back-to-back games all year, lost the series finale against the Long Island Ducks back on Sunday before dropping Tuesday's contest, their second straight loss. Won the middle game on Long Island before dropping the series finale. Southern Maryland 23-7 on the year, still comfortably in first place in the Atlantic League North Division, holding a 8.5 game lead over the Long Island Ducks. The last pitch has been thrown, and we're ready for baseball right here on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Jack Sundberg will lead things off. Sundberg, a guy that reaches base quite frequently and an individual that finds himself oftentimes stealing bases at a high clip. 10 stolen bases on the season to accompany 21 walks. Those 21 walks, the 4th most in the Atlantic League in this 2022 season. Sundberg, a .224 hitter on the year with a .398 on base percentage as Jordan Stevens comes home with his first pitch in there for a called strike, and we're underway here in Charleston, West Virginia. Stevens, the right-hander, again a 6.82 ERA in this 2022 campaign. Second pitch of the night, an elevated fastball swung on and missed from the left-handed hitting Jack Sundberg. Stevens, 6'1", 200 pounds. Originally drafted by the Kansas City Royals in 2018 in the 27th round. The 0-2. Swung on and missed from Jack Sundberg, who goes down on strikes to start off this contest here at Appalachian Power Park, and that's exactly the start you're looking for if you're Jordan Stevens. A rowdy crowd here this evening at Appalachian Power Park as Southern Maryland hits the road. Here comes Raul Shaw. Shaw, a .345 hitter in this 2022 season. And it looks like we've seen the Toast Man. That's their version of Ron Lord, the tie-dye guy. Or I should say kind of their entertainer on the field. He's called the Toast Man, and he just throws out pieces of toast to fans. He just so happens to be Kent Blackstone's uncle, who is a former Blue Crab. A ball and no strikes the count to Raul Shaw. The Stevens pitch swung on and missed, and we're even at a ball and a strike. Can't say enough good things about Raul Shaw, the man at the dish. Shaw, a .345 hitter on the season, riding a 9-game hit streak. He's been real good against the Dirty Birds this season, too. A .429 hitter against. As an elevated fastball misses upstairs. Your umpires for this evening, behind the dish is Justin Burton. At first base is Rob Massaro, and Andy McPherson mans the third base umpire position. You can smell the burnt toast in the air here at Appalachian Power Park as a sinker has Shaw missing. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Here comes Stevens out of the windup, the 2-2. Swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts to start off this contest for Jordan Stevens. Mentioned Stevens really struggled his last time out, but finding early success here today. He is an individual that tends to strike out a good number of batters. 23 strikeouts in 30 innings pitched this year. A season-high 8 strikeouts back on May the 8th as Jared Walker steps up to the dish. We've seen back-to-back swinging strikeouts to start this game for your Blue Crabs, and Jared Walker will try to get something going with 2 away. First pitch from Jordan Stevens, an elevated fastball just missing. A ball and no strikes the count. Walker, a .240 hitter on the season, 7 home runs, 18 RBIs. Those 7 home runs tied for the 4th most in the Atlantic League this season. Stevens from the windup, a called strike 1. Walker in his first year as a Blue Crab and his first year in the Atlantic League. Hit 5 homers in his first 9 games of this 2022 campaign. Stevens with the 1-1 on its way. Sinker misses upstairs, and Walker works ahead in the count. 2 balls and a strike. Walker's played in just 1 game against the Dirty Birds this year. He went 1 for 2. He also hit his only triple of the season in that contest. The 2-1, swing and a miss. We're even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jordan Stevens has played as high as the AAA level. As Walker steps out of the box. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. Jordan Stevens from the windup and the pitch. 2-2 looked like it would have been a little bit inside, but it's called strike number 3, and a really nice start to this game for Jordan Stevens, who strikes out the side against Southern Maryland. That's how we get through half of the inning. When we come back, Southern Maryland sends out Denson Holt to the mound on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
All Pawn is Southern Maryland's premier pawn shop and is the official pawn shop of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Stop by and say hello today. They've been a part of the Southern Maryland community for 18 years. If you need some cash to hold you over, or if you're just doing some spring cleaning and want to clear some stuff out, please bring it by All Pawn and let them make you an offer. If you have broken jewelry or some that you just don't want anymore, please bring it by and they'll pay you more than anyone in the Tri-County area. They're located on 301 in White Plains, just south of DeMar Road. Go Blue Crabs!
This is Patrick Baker, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
A beautiful start to this contest for Charleston's Jordan Stevens. Stevens strikes out the side in the top of the first inning, bringing us into the bottom half of this first inning here on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Andrew Manstra here with you, live from Charleston, West Virginia, as Denson Holt works with a brand new battery mate in Joe DeLuca. DeLuca caught 100-plus games for Southern Maryland last year, easily a career high for the catcher and the most in the league. He had peaked at the Atlantic League level entering last season, but after a full year of work, he had his contract purchased by the Cincinnati Reds. Started this season at the AAA level. He's DH'd in a couple of games, but this is first back behind the dish as a member of the Blue Crabs as Denson Holt comes out onto the mound. Denson Holt, one of the better pitchers in the Atlantic League to start this 2022 season. The Southpaw holds a 1.44 ERA on the campaign. And his first pitch is in there for a called strike to Connor Justice. As for Denson Holt, in his first 3 starts of the season, he didn't allow a single run. In his next 2 starts on May the 10th and May the 15th, he allowed just 1 run in at least 6 innings pitched. His last time out at home against Long Island, he allowed 4 runs, 3 of which were earned in 5 innings pitched. A 1.02 ERA, whip on the season, to accompany a 1.44 ERA. Connor Justice sees an 0-2 count. The southpaw Denson Hull inbound out of the stretch. Fastball high and tight misses, a ball and 2 strikes. As always, we'll get some trivia questions going here in a little bit, and make sure if you're tuning in on the YouTube or Facebook to leave a comment so that we can give you a shout out. A ball and 2 strikes the count. Hull's pitch through the left side of the infield. Ground ball in between Michael Baca, the shortstop, and Alex Crosby, the third baseman, for a base hit single as Connor Justice gets this game going offensively. That brings up Anthony Seymour. Seymour, the center fielder for this Charleston Dirty Birds team. Numbers on the year for Anthony Seymour, a .298 hitter, 7 stolen bases. That's good for top 10 in the Atlantic League as Seymour steps into the right-handed batter's box. Hull out of the stretch. Here comes the pitch. Showing bunt is Seymour. Pulls back just in time, and it's called ball number 1. Looked awfully close from here, but certainly the better vantage point coming from our home plate umpire and Justin Burton. Give you the defensive alignment for Southern Maryland here in just a moment. Showing bunt once more is Seymour. The pitch misses again. From left to right in the outfield for Southern Maryland, it is Jack Sundberg, Zach Collier, and Braxton Lee. From left to right in the infield, at third base, Alex Crosby with Michael Baca at short. Raul Shaw at second, Jared Walker manning first base. Joe DeLuca behind the dish, and here comes Denson Hull with the 2-0 offering. The pitch. This could be 2. Baca fields on a hop. Flips to second. The throw to first in time. 6-4-3 double play. And Southern Maryland sucks the life out of what could have been an early rally for this Charleston Dirty Birds team. Driving here today, this is my first time driving through West Virginia. You always hear about the mountains, but basically between Southern Maryland and Charleston, it's only mountains once you get into West Virginia. Back to that in a moment as Juan Perez steps into the right-handed batter's box. First pitch, a called strike. So I was kind of assuming that the drive wouldn't be too long because on a map, Southern Maryland and Charleston aren't that far away. But the way that the roads work, you have to go all the way up to Hagerstown, essentially up near York and Lancaster, and then come all the way around. So it was about a 6.5-hour drive, but folks, I would not have missed it for the world. Nothing more I enjoy doing than bringing you baseball right here on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. No balls, 2 strikes. Denson Hull on his way to Juan Perez. Spoiled away to the right side. We'll stay at 0-2. Juan Perez has been scorching hot to begin this 2022 season. In his first 30 games, the center fielder finds himself hitting at a .354 clip, but in his last 10 games, a .417 batting average. High foul ball will get out of play once more. Denson Hull allowed a leadoff single to Connor Justice before a 6-4-3 double play took all runners off the bases and find us here with an 0-2 count. 2 away in the bottom of the first inning as Juan Perez digs back into the right-handed batter's box. Hull from the stretch. Soft liner, left center field. This should looked like at least at first it was going to be a single. Instead, it gets past Jack Sundberg for extra bases. Call it a stand-up double for Juan Perez. 2 hits for the Dirty Birds here in the bottom half of the first inning. That's the 10th double on the season for Juan Perez, the 4th most in the Atlantic League. And it comes at a good time for the Dirty Birds. That brings up Diego Goris, a .219 hitter on the season. Goris has not played in all that many games, just 8 of them in this 2022 season. Diego Goris, no home runs, 2 RBIs in 8 games played. The first baseman wears number 8 on the back of his jersey, and Denson Hull on his way home. A filthy curveball just misses the zone, and the count of ball and no strikes. Generally, the first base time goes to Nick Longy, but getting the start tonight is Diego Goris batting in that cleanup spot. The 1-0 hit well to the left side through the infield. The runner will be sent. Jack Sundberg comes up throwing. It's a good one. DeLuca's tag not quite in time. Really couldn't have done much better on that if you're DeLuca or Jack Sundberg. Just good speed from Juan Perez as a base hit single brings home the first run of this contest. Charleston on top early, 1-0. 3 hits in this inning for the Dirty Birds. And on the throw, Diego Goris advanced to second. So another runner in scoring position as Angel Beltre steps into the left-handed batter's box. Beltre, a .260 hitter on the season, 2 home runs, 14 RBIs. Left-on-left matchup, Hull on his way home. Elevated fastball, but he went around. Call it strike number 1. Angel Beltre wears number 7 on the back of his mountain-themed West Virginia jerseys. The Charleston Dirty Birds on top here early. The pitch. Fastball dots the outer edge. 0-2 goes the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Denson Hull trying to keep the damage right where it is. The southpaw on his way home. Curveball, just getting a piece of it is Beltre. It's in no man's land into left field, and it drops just foul, says the home plate umpire, Justin Burton. It looked close, but getting the benefit of the doubt there are the Blue Crabs. Looked like it could have potentially dropped for extra bases, but just averts fair territory, and they'll have to do it all over again. Certainly the fans here at Appalachian Power Park are under the impression that that was a fair ball, but not the call from Justin Burton. Angel Beltre, an MLB veteran who played 22 games with the Rangers in 2013. The pitch, line drive, right side, a bouncer to Raul Shaw. He catches, fires to first, and it gets out of the glove of Jared Walker. The throw was a little late, a little low, but could have been caught in the air. Call it a defensive blunder, and now runners on the corners for the Dirty Birds here in this bottom half of the first inning. Most likely goes down as an E3. Get you the official call on that in just a moment. Runners on the corners, 2 away for Denson Hull, who enters play with the 3rd best ERA in the entire Atlantic League. Just 1 run for the Dirty Birds here as their 6th batter of the inning, and Alfredo Rodriguez make that Gonzalez steps up to the dish. For the season, Gonzalez a .250 hitter, just an RBI on his ledger. Hull out of the stretch, the southpaw with a pickoff move to first, just keeping Angel Beltre in check. From the right side, Alfredo Gonzalez, a .650 on base plus slugging percentage this season. Hull from the stretch. Here comes the pitch. This one could be trouble into right field. Braxton Lee is able to get there and track it down. An F9 ends this frame. Could have been a lot worse. The Dirty Birds get just 1 run despite setting 6 hitters to the dish. They strand two as we take things into the second. When we come back, it's David Harris, Alex Crosby, and Zach Collier on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Daryl Thompson, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
When you're in the market to buy or sell a home, call Tony McClure of Century 21 New Millennium and his Grand Slam team. The realtor of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs since our first season in 2008. Tony and his team of preferred partners includes Tim Murphy of CNF Mortgage and Steve Scott of the Scott Law Group. Together, they will ensure that your real estate needs are nothing short of a grand slam. The quality service you will receive is Hall of Fame worthy. Put Tony's 41 plus years of experience to work for you. Call or text Tony today at 301-928-1280 for your personal Grand Slam experience. Go Blue Crabs. Did you know that the Washington, D.C. metro area is the 5th most expensive place to live in the entire United States of America? Sometimes finding affordable housing in this area can feel impossible. If you're struggling to find affordable housing, look no further than the Villages of St. Charles by Ross Properties. You can visit them online at villagesatstcharles.com for more information today. Villages of St. Charles, they'll have you safe at home.
This is Matt Latos, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
The Dirty Birds get one in their half of the first, bringing us into the top of the second. Jordan Stevens back out onto the mound, entered play today with an ERA just shy of 7 at a 6.82 clip, but he struck out the side back in the top half of the first, and his offense gave him a run as we bring things into the top half of the second. David Harris leads things off, one of the best hitters in the Atlantic League to start this 2022 season. Harris, a .330 hitter with 6 home runs and 28 RBIs on the season. Takes the first pitch he sees this evening for a called strike number 1. Andrew Banstra thrilled to be bringing you tonight's action live from Charleston, West Virginia, as this ball gets just over our heads here in the press box at Appalachian Power Park. No balls, 2 strikes. Jordan Stevens back on the mound, working quickly out of the windup. Elevated fastball chase, just getting a piece of it, is David Harris. Harris's 28 RBIs rank 5th in the Atlantic League. His .330 batting average just outside the top 5. The 0-2 once more from Jordan Stevens. A big curveball chopped high to the left side. Scott Burcham fields on 2 bounces and fires across the infield for out number 1. It was the first non-strikeout out for Jordan Stevens so far in this game. 4 up, 4 down for the right-hander as Alex Crosby comes up to the dish. The numbers for Crosby on the season, good as expected. Just about a .300 hitter on the campaign. Has fared very well against the Dirty Birds this season. 7 for 12 at the dish with an RBI in 3 games played. Jordan Stevens out of the windup. First pitch way outside. A ball and no strikes. Well, let's get into our first trivia question of the game. Really happy to have you here on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. And our first trivia question will be Dirty Birds related. As a fastball is elevated, swung on and missed, the count 1-1. As recently as last year, this team in the Dirty Birds went by the West Virginia Power before rebranding to the Charleston Dirty Birds. Why are they called the Dirty Birds? That's my question. I have the answer for you, but what is the significance behind that moniker? 2 balls and a strike will give you the answer in the top of the 3rd inning. Continue to put those comments in, giving your guesses. And in addition to that, you'll find yourself getting a shout-out If you drop your name and location you're watching from in the comments. 2 balls and a strike. Crosby rips one to the right side. A dive from Scott Kelly, who stands and fires. What a play from the second baseman to keep the Blue Crabs hitless here in the early going. That ball had a base hit written all over it. Crosby robbed on what could have been a base hit single. And now 2 away for Southern Maryland in the top of the second. Here comes Zach Collier, number 8 on the back of the jersey. First pitch he sees, a curveball in there for a called strike. These West Virginia fans rowdy this evening, supporting their home team here on a Friday night in Charleston, West Virginia. The press box is basically right on top of the lower deck seating bowl. So we're right in the action in the press box. The 1-1 gets away from Jordan Stevens. The count now 2 balls and a strike. Collier enters play as a .230 hitter on the season. Last year, probably his best of his career. He went for a .324 batting average in addition to finishing top 2 in the Atlantic League in on-base percentage and slugging percentage. The 2-1, curveball swung on and missed. We're even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Collier with those black Maryland-themed jerseys that the Blue Crabs are wearing this evening has number 8 on the back of it. The 2-2 from Stevens. Elevated fastball backs him off the plate. And we're at a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Collier awaits the payoff pitch. Changeup swung on and missed, and Jordan Stevens sets down the first 6 Blue Crabs he sees, 4 of them with strikeouts. We're through 1.5 here in Charleston, West Virginia. When we return, Denson Holback on the mound on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Andres Riceno, and you are listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
So, what do you like about your home?
Practice like hockey. I practice stick handling and sometimes shooting. Mommy. Go outside sometimes. I like playing lacrosse. Playing the Switch. I like the scribble. Daddy. I like to build Legos at home. I have the biggest closet. Riding my dirt bike.
We help you home. At Hometown Real Estate, we want to help you and your family home. Whatever that takes and whatever that means to you. Give us a call at 888-225-2736 or online at helpyouhomebluecrabs.com.
Take you back into Appalachian Power Park. Andrew Banster here with you. Really pleased to have you joining us from Charleston, West Virginia on a beautiful Friday night, the series opener for a 4-game Memorial Day weekend series. The Dirty Birds got one run back in their half of the first inning. Left runner stranded on the corners, though, and that's all they could get. Denson Hull back out onto the mound. Hull enters play with the third-best ERA in the Atlantic League and misses upstairs to his former teammate in Scott Burcham with the first pitch of the second inning. Hull, the southpaw, working out of the stretch as he usually does. The left-hander issues the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss from Scott Burcham, and we're even at a ball and a strike. Denson Hull, 6'1", 220 pounds. The 26-year-old working into his second inning of work here on a Friday night. Foul ball over our heads gives us a 2-strike count. Tomorrow, Southern Maryland will put Mitch Lampson on the mound to face off against Stephen Chambly. In Game 3, it'll be Eddie Butler for Southern Maryland on Sunday. He'll face off against the southpaw in Kit Sheets. 1-2 upstairs. We're even at 2 strikes. In the finale on Monday, it'll be the southpaw Mackenzie Mills for Southern Maryland facing off against Jose Mesa Jr. 2 strikes. Hull working out of the stretch. The pitch. Chopper to the right side. Raul Shaw fields on the ground. Fires across the infield for out number 1. A good start to this bottom of the second inning for Denson Hull and the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Back in the first inning, Connor Justice started things off with a single before Anthony Seymour grounded into a double play, but then Charleston got things going. They had a double before Diego Goris pounded in a single. An error almost spelled more trouble for Southern Maryland before Denson Hull got out of it. Here comes Miles Williams, a 160 hitter on the season. A ball and no strikes the count. Hull's pitch. Struck foul right over our heads. We're even at a ball and a strike. Miles Williams briefly played for the Blue Crabs back in 2021. He was traded from the Gastonia Honey Hunters to the Blue Crabs before being traded to these Dirty Birds. The 1-1 from the lefty. Swung on and missed. The ball and 2 strikes the count. Williams has good connections within tons of MLB circles. Good friends with a lot of big-name MLB stars. Jack Flaherty, to name one. The 1-2. Just a touch inside, and we're even at 2 strikes. Hull working out of the stretch once more. Williams awaiting the pitch. Inbound. Elevated fastball swung on and missed. Denson Hull sets down Miles Williams. And now 2 away for the Dirty Birds in their half of the second. First strikeout of the night for Denson Hull, a guy that from time to time strikes out a fair amount of batters, but for the most part, he'll pitch to contact. 6 Dirty Birds came up to the plate last inning, seeing if he can set him down in order this time as Denson Hull faces off against Scott Kelly. First pitch to Kelly, an elevated fastball that misses high and away. Scott Kelly, the second baseman for this Dirty Birds team, is just 1 for 12 against the Blue Crabs this season. Found massive struggles, but is coming in hot into this game. In his last series, he went 5 for 14 with a double, a triple, and a home run. The 1-0 from Denson Hull Slider in there for a called strike. The Blue Crabs 8.5 games up on the Long Island Ducks. Southern Maryland comfortably in first place in the Atlantic League North Division, while these Charleston Dirty Birds have hit a little bit of a dry spell lately. Started the season, in fact, just a week ago, they were within 4 games of the first place Gastonia Honey Hunters. Now the High Point Rockers on top in the Atlantic League South Division. Ball and a strike, the pitch. Just a touch low in the count, 2 balls and a strike. Mentioned this is Joe DeLuca's first game catching this season for the Blue Crabs. Was signed just a couple of days ago, last Sunday to be more specific. So it's his first time working with Denson Hole as well. 2 balls and a strike, the southpaw. Sees a soft line drive into left center field. Zach Collier couldn't get his eyes on the ball initially as it bobbles off his glove in left center field. It would have been extra bases anyways, and a 2-out double for Scott Kelly puts the Dirty Birds in business here in the bottom half of the second. And that's the second time so far in this game that a Southern Maryland outfielder has misread a fly ball. And the only reason I point that out is because Southern Maryland, in my opinion, has the best defensive outfield in the Atlantic League, and it's really not all that close. These are a trio and really even 5 very capable outfielders for Southern Maryland on the roster that are incredibly good defensively. So the reason I pointed out, it seems as though there's been twice in this game they've had a hard time reading the ball in the sun. This, of course, Southern Maryland's first trip to Charleston this season. Denson Hole keeping Scott Kelly close out there at second. As the lineup is flipped back to the top, it's Connor Justice, the man up to the plate. A .314 hitter on the season with 2 home runs and 18 RBIs. Scored a run after singling back in the first. I beg your pardon, was retired. This could be trouble once more in no man's land, and no Blue Crabs are able to get there. I beg your pardon. What a catch. Coming in out of nowhere was Zach Collier, who grabs it for out number 3. That's how we get through 2 here in Charleston. When we come back, the Crabs back up to bat on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Daryl Thompson, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
When you're in the market to buy or sell a home, call Tony McClure of Century 21 New Millennium and his Grand Slam team. The realtor of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs since our first season in 2008. Tony and his team of preferred partners includes Tim Murphy of CNF Mortgage and Steve Scott of the Scott Law Group. Together, they will ensure that your real estate needs are nothing short of a grand slam. The quality service you will receive is Hall of Fame worthy. Put Tony's 41-plus years of experience to work for you. Call or text Tony today at 301-928-1280 for your personal Grand Slam experience. Go Blue Crabs. Did you know that the Washington, D.C. metro area is the 5th most expensive place to live in the entire United States of America? Sometimes finding affordable housing in this area can feel impossible. If you're struggling to find affordable housing, look no further than the Villages of St. Charles by Ross Properties. You can visit them online at villagesatstcharles.com for more information today. Villages of St. Charles, they'll have you safe at home.
Seven, 8, 9 due up for Southern Maryland as we take things into the top of the 3rd inning here on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Andrew Banster here with you from Charleston, West Virginia. Thrilled to be here on a beautiful Friday night in the capital city of West Virginia. Right on left matchup starts things off as Jordan Stevens works in to his third inning of work. First batter we'll see in this frame is Braxton Lee. Southern Maryland has been set down in order in each of their first 2 innings of action here this evening. Struck out the side did Jordan Stevens back in the first before retiring a pair on groundouts and striking out Zach Collier in the second. 4 strikeouts through 2 innings for Jordan Stevens as Braxton Lee awaits the 1-1 offering. The sun really beaming down onto the pitcher in Stevens. Elevated fastball, swung on and missed, 1-2 the count. The 1-2 on its way from Stevens. Fastball off the plate, 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Braxton Lee, the MLB veteran, played with the Miami Marlins. And the pitch on its way from Stevens. Chopper to the right side, tough play for Scott Kelly, who fields in shallow right field. Tosses to first for out number 1. And Braxton Lee, the first third inning victim of Jordan Stevens. That'll bring up Joe DeLuca. The switch-hitting catcher bats from the left side. DeLuca wearing number 10 this season. DeLuca steps back into the left-handed batter's box. Here comes the left-handed hitting catcher. First pitch swinging straight up in the air. This could be trouble in left center field. In comes Anthony Seymour, who catches for out number 2. Looks like we've got some dark clouds just creeping over the stadium here in Charleston. Of course, the last thing you ever want to see. That brings up Michael Baca. Southern Maryland has yet to get a base runner to reach to this point in the contest. They'll try to change that. Will Michael Baca here with 2 away in the top half of the third. First pitch from Jordan Stevens, called strike at the bell. Baca, the shortstop for Southern Maryland in his second year with the Blue Crabs. The 0-1. Soft liner into right field, base hit single for Michael Baca, the first base runner of this contest for your Blue Crabs, and it comes at a good time. For the first time in the order, you really never want to see the opposing pitcher set him down in order 3 times. If nothing else comes to fruition for Southern Maryland in this inning, at least they've altered the groove that Jordan Stevens finds himself in. Just mentioned the clouds rolling in, but now we've got a rainbow. As you can see, a beautiful rainbow here at Charleston, against the Charleston Dirty Birds. Jack Sundberg takes a fastball inside, 1-0 the count. Baca with good speed over there at first, but wouldn't anticipate a stolen base attempt here. Sundberg, number 9, on the back of his Maryland-themed jersey. The pitch. Elevated fastball, 2 balls, no strikes. Two balls, no strikes to Jack Sundberg. Offers at a curveball. Call it strike number 1. Sundberg, a .398 on base percentage entering play today. 5 RBIs on the season. Had a great game a couple nights ago, going 2 for 4 against the Long Island Ducks in a win. Stevens out of the stretch for the first time today. Fastball high, swung on and missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Jordan Stevens with the 2-2. Fastball at the knees inside Sundberg. Didn't love the call, and folks, I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan either. It almost hit him on the knee. That's what he's arguing to the home plate umpire right now. Nonetheless, Southern Maryland strands a runner at first, and Michael Baca, no runs in the inning. Dirty Birds on top 1-0 as we take things into the bottom of the third. From Charleston, West Virginia, you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Patrick Baker, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
American Radiology is the clear choice for all of your medical imaging needs. With locations in Charles and Calvert counties, they offer a full range of imaging services. Some of their latest innovations included 3D mammography and wide-open MRIs for our claustrophobic patients. For your convenience, they even offer extended weekday hours and Saturdays. For more information or to schedule an appointment, visit their website at AmericanRadiology.com.
This is David Harris, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
The Dirty Birds get their third chance at the plate. They'll start off with 2-3-4. That means Anthony Seymour leads things off. He grounded into a double play his last time up, but then the Dirty Birds went on a little bit of a rally. Told you we'd get you the answer to our trivia question for today's contest. Haven't done that quite yet, so let's give you the question one more time, and we'll answer it by the end of this half inning. Again, the Dirty Birds used to go by the West Virginia Power. The trivia question this evening is, why did they rebrand to the Dirty Birds, and what's the significance behind that moniker? A ball and no strikes the count. Hole's first pitch, mashed to left field. Back goes Jack Sundberg, and it's off the video board. Anthony Seymour with a leadoff solo shot, putting the Dirty Birds on top 2-0 here in the early going. So the solo shot spells a 2-0 Dirty Birds lead here in the bottom half of the third inning. Denson Hole rebounding or looking to. The southpaw, as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, has been one of, if not the best pitchers in this entire Atlantic League in this 2022 campaign. Enters play with a 1.44 ERA, good for third best in the league. Hole's pitch fouled off the leg of Juan Perez, who doubled his last time up. Perez has 10 doubles on the season. It's good for the fourth most in the Atlantic League. Perez still kneeling in pain after a foul ball hits right off of his ankle. The Dirty Birds on top here early. They played it a run back in the first inning of action when Diego Goris brought home Juan Perez, who stands to the dish. Now being tended to by the athletic trainer and his manager in Billy Horn. Joe DeLuca out on the mound, speaking with Denson Hull, in some ways providing him shade standing in front of the sun. Get to our trivia question answer right now. We talked about why did they change to the moniker the Dirty Birds, and here's the answer. If you've ever heard of the phrase canary in a coal mine, of course, Charleston and West Virginia right in coal country. The phrase comes from back in the old days, they used to send a canary down into a coal mine to see if it was safe to go in. If it came back up and lived, then it was safe to mine coal in that particular location. If it did not, however, well, then that meant it was not safe to mine the coal. So naturally, the team name is the Charleston Dirty Birds, which in my opinion is a fantastic moniker to go by. We'll have trivia questions throughout the night, and we remind you, if you drop us a comment on Facebook or YouTube, we'll always give you a shout out right here on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. You can see that beautiful rainbow in the background with our picturesque background here in Charleston, West Virginia. Juan Perez appears to be okay as he'll step back into the right-handed batter's box. A ball and a strike the count. Solo shot led off this inning from Anthony Seymour. Hull working out of the stretch. Shakes off DeLuca a couple of times. And now he's got his sign. See with what number 26 comes home with. The lefty on his way. Big curveball in there for a called strike. Working ahead in the count at 1-2. You know, Denson Hull has good velocity, but he also has really crafty stuff. A massive sweeping curveball that can really put hitters back on their heels. A ball and 2 strikes. Denson on his way home. Way inside, swung on and missed from Juan Perez, who goes down on strikes. The second strikeout of this contest for Denson Hull, and it comes at a good time. Southern Maryland has collected just 1 hit so far in this contest. They went 8 up, 8 down before Michael Baca found himself singling to the right side back in the bottom of the third. Make that the top. 1 away brings up Diego Goris. Goris, a .242 hitter on the season, singled in a run his last time up. Big sweeping curveball swung on and missed. Denson Hull struggling here early compared to his normal numbers. I mean, for any average starter, allowing 2 runs through 2 1/3 innings is really not all that much to worry about. Not that it is now, but it more than anything points out just how tremendous Denson Hull has been to this point in the season. Through his first 6 starts, an ERA south of 1.5, essentially unheard of. No balls, 2 strikes to Diego Goris, the cleanup hitter for this Dirty Birds team here this evening. Curveball, well struck to the left side. There's no doubt about it. It lands across the street. Curveball left a little bit over the plate. And another solo shot for the Dirty Birds put Charleston up by a score of 3-0. Now, if you want to look at the sunny side of things, as the sun has started to peek through the clouds, if you're a Blue Crabs fan in this situation, it could really be a lot worse. You look back at the first inning, a leadoff single from Connor Justice turned into a double play ball, but then the Dirty Birds got going. They had a double, a single, an error put runners on the corners before Denson Hull retired the side. The Dirty Birds had a 2-out double back in the second inning, but here in the third, 2 solo shots. 6 hits for the Dirty Birds and a Blue Crabs error, but just 3 runs to show for it. So if you're Denson Hole, again, it could be a lot worse. Still a very manageable deficit, 3-0 in the bottom half of the third inning as Denson Hole comes home to Angel Beltray. Curveball bounced to the right side. Backing up on it is Raul Shaw, who fields and fires to first for out number 2. Two away, nobody on, brings up Alfredo Gonzalez. Gonzalez flew out to the right fielder Braxton Lee back in the first inning. He was the third out back in that first frame. Couple of solo shots in this inning have put the Dirty Birds on top 3-0. As Denson Hole steps back onto the mound, working from the first base side, and the southpaw on his way home. Slider just off the plate, 1-0. Hole getting his sign from Joe DeLuca. The lefty working out of the stretch. 2 away here in the bottom of the third. Foul tip back into the backstop puts us at a ball and a strike. Denson Hole played for Creighton back in his college days before being drafted back in the 28th round of the 2019 MLB draft by the Arizona Diamondbacks. Hole reached as high as the AA level with the Sod Poodles back in 2021. The 1-1 as the sun is now hidden behind the clouds. Change up, swung on and missed, 1-2 the count. (3-0) Dirty Birds lead here in this bottom half of the third inning. A ball and 2 strikes the count. Nobody on. And the pitch. Fastball upstairs. It misses the zone. We're even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hole with the 2-2 inbound. Fastball downstairs, and we're full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Baseball Savant currently giving the Dirty Birds an 83% chance of winning this contest. But if we know a thing or two about Southern Maryland, they are pretty darn good at comebacks. Crowd making some noise here on a Friday night in Charleston. The payoff pitch on its way from Denson Hole. Slider just a touch inside, and it's called ball number 4. It's a tough call for Denson as Alfredo Gonzalez reaches base on the free pass, making way for Scott Burcham. As for Denson Hole, that the first walk he's issued so far in this contest. Meanwhile, on the other side, Jordan Stevens, who entered with an ERA just south of 7, has allowed just 1 hit with 5 strikeouts through 3 innings pitched. Big leave over there at first. Hole not worried about it. No chance for the throw that gets into center field. Collier has to come retrieve it in shallow right center, and just like that, a walk turns to a runner on third for the Dirty Birds. Gonzalez had a really big lead over there at first base. Pitch did go down as a strike. So Scott Burcham now with the runner on third as Denson Hole steps off to collect his thoughts. As for Scott Burcham, he hits just 176 on the season with runners in scoring position. Has struggled in the clutch to this point in the campaign as Denson Hole continues to work into this bottom of the third inning. Live from the capital of West Virginia, surrounded by mountains in a picturesque setting. The 0-1. Curveball in there, called strike as Denson works ahead of Scott Burcham. Burcham began the season with the Blue Crabs, playing in a pair of games before being traded to these Dirty Birds. Denson Hole out of the stretch. No balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Swung on and missed. High fastball challenging Scott Burcham as Denson Hole works out of this third inning. The Dirty Birds strand 1, but they plate 2. A pair of solo shots, one from Anthony Seymour, the other from Diego Goris. Put the Dirty Birds on top 3-0. We're a third of the way through this contest. When we come back, more Blue Crabs baseball on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
All Pawn is Southern Maryland's premier pawn shop and is the official pawn shop of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Stop by and say hello today. They've been a part of the Southern Maryland community for 18 years. If you need some cash to hold you over, or if you're just doing some spring cleaning and want to clear some stuff out, please bring it by All Pawn and let them make you an offer. If you have broken jewelry or some that you just don't want anymore, please bring it by and they'll pay you more than anyone in the Tri-County area. They're located on 301 in White Plains, just south of DeMar Road. Go Blue Crabs!
This is Patrick Baker, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Raul Shaw leads off this top half of the fourth inning. Jordan Stevens has been rolling through 3, 5 strikeouts, just 1 hit against the right-hander as Southern Maryland cracks off the middle third of this contest. First pitch swinging from Raul Shaw, who fouls it away. Strike number 1. Shaw riding a 9-game hit streak, trying to extend it to 10 here against these Dirty Birds on a Friday night. And the Steam the Crabs chants come out here on a Friday night in Charleston. The Toast Man, their on-field host, leading the cheers. A ball and a strike the count. See if we can't get you a view of the Toast Man here. There's the Toast Man. Called the Toast Man because he literally throws burnt toast out to the crowd. Folks, that's why I love minor league baseball. This ball gets away from Raul Shaw. He does not opt to steal first base, though. Of course, in the Atlantic League this year, you are allowed to do so. Shaw, a .339 hitter on the season. Raul 5 for 12 through the first 3 games of this road trip. 2-1, swung on and missed as the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Home plate umpire in Justin Burton will have a couple of words with Jordan Stevens. 5 strikeouts so far in the game for Jordan Stevens. Struck out each of the first 3 batters that he faced, including Raul Shaw in his first time up. Shaw spent last season with the Ogden Raptors of the Pioneer League and led the league in batting average north of .350. Stevens shakes off his catcher Gonzalez. He's got his pitch. Here it comes on the 2-2. Fastball high and tight. Holding back is Shaw, and we're full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Shaw, Southern Maryland second baseman. Shaw puts a swing on this one, high and in the infield. Backing up on it is Scott Kelly, who catches for out number 1 of the top of the 4th. One away brings up Jared Walker. Walker, the first baseman for this Southern Maryland team. Jared, 6'2", 198 pounds, originally from Powder Springs, Georgia. Spent last season split between affiliated ball and the Sioux City Explorers of the American Association. Sun just getting below the horizon here in Charleston. It was really, really sunny here earlier today. Of course, that's not something we're used to, considering this is the first time Southern Maryland has visited Charleston this season. No balls and a strike. Jared Walker awaiting the pitch. It's a fastball that just misses the zone. Stevens with his hands at the belt. Glove in front of the face and the pitch. Big swing from Jared Walker, but it doesn't look to get too far. Gets just outside of the infield as the shortstop Connor Justice calls and catches for out number 2. Mentioned that Jordan Stevens had found struggles to start this 2022 season. In fact, in his last start against Gastonia, he allowed 7 earned runs on 8 hits, walking 2 while striking out 3 in just 4 innings pitched. Also against the Blue Crabs, he allowed 4 earned in 6 innings, but is finding good success here this evening. 2 away brings up David Harris, one of the hottest bats in the Atlantic League. Watches a big curveball miss the top of the zone. A ball and no strikes as Jordan Stevens steps onto the mound and the pitch. It's an off speed that this time just catches the zone. A ball and a strike the count. Harris awaiting the 1-1. Swing and a miss. A ball and 2 strikes. David's .995 OPS entering play ranks 8th in the Atlantic League, just a touch shy of 1,000. The 1-2 on its way. Fastball off the outside of the plate, more even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stevens shakes off the call, now once more. Set and ready for the pitch, the 2-2. Harris chases it. It's in the dirt. David dodges the tag but goes back towards his own dugout. And another strikeout for Jordan Stevens, his 6th of the contest through 4 innings. Southern Maryland goes down in order, and we're back in 1 minute on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Daryl Thompson, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
When you're in the market to buy or sell a home, call Tony McClure of Century 21 New Millennium and his Grand Slam team. The realtor of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs since our first season in 2008. Tony and his team of preferred partners includes Tim Murphy of CNF Mortgage and Steve Scott of the Scott Law Group. Together, they will ensure that your real estate needs are nothing short of a grand slam. The quality service you will receive is Hall of Fame worthy. Put Tony's 41-plus years of experience to work for you. Call or text Tony today at 301-928-1280 for your personal Grand Slam experience. Go Blue Crabs. Did you know that the Washington, D.C. metro area is the 5th most expensive place to live in the entire United States of America? Sometimes finding affordable housing in this area can feel impossible. If you're struggling to find affordable housing, look no further than the Villages of St. Charles by Ross Properties. You can visit them online at villagesatstcharles.com for more information today. Villages of St. Charles, they'll have you safe at home.
This is Joe DeLuca, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Welcome back inside Appalachian Power Park. To the bottom of the 4th we go here on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Andrew Manstra here with you, taking you through tonight's contest. And another lovely night of baseball. Nothing more I enjoy doing than bringing you Blue Crabs baseball. As Miles Williams puts one sky high into center field, Zach Collier comes in and catches for out number 1. Haven't been on the air as much this season as I have in years past, but here in my 5th year as the broadcaster for the Blue Crabs, it never, ever gets tiring. I absolutely love it, bringing you Blue Crabs baseball on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. One away in the bottom of the 4th brings up Scott Kelly. Kelly doubled his first time up. He's been great in this homestand for the Dirty Birds. Kelly from the right side as Denson Hull works into his 4th inning of action. First pitch, cutter off the outer edge. 1-0 goes the count. Scott Kelly, one of the better Atlantic League stories you'll find. Started his career with the Somerset Patriots. Landed on the Somerset Patriots roster at a tryout and spent years and years in Somerset. And when they moved to Double-A, Scott Kelly came here to Charleston and has been here ever since. Already become a pillar in the community. Beautiful curveball right in there for strike number 2. And Hull has made an adjustment here against these Dirty Birds. Generally, more fastballs for Denson Hull than you're going to see off speed. Still the case, but a lot more curveballs early and often in counts from the southpaw here this evening. Originally, a 28th round draft pick by the Diamondbacks was Denson Hull. That was back in 2019 as the 26-year-old steps back onto the mound. Denson on his way home with the 1-2. Curveball just evades the zone. Really good eye there from Scott Kelly. Couple of solo shots back in the third. Gave the Dirty Birds 2. They also got a run back in the bottom half of the first inning. The 2-2. Right back up the middle. Michael Baca to his left. Fields fires on the run and gets it to first in time. Michael Baca is just so fluid with his hands. You're going to be hard-pressed to find another individual that is as good on the move as Michael Baca. That's the exact reason that you'll see him every day out there at shortstop. You know, in a league, especially like the Atlantic League, it's hard to find a shortstop that you can put out there every day and trust because, you know, oftentimes it's a hard position to play, but also guys are getting picked up and doing this and that. And, you know, the Blue Crabs are really fortunate to have Baca at the helm every day, a really solid shortstop who has the only hit in this game for Southern Maryland. 2 away, an 0-1 count to Connor Justice. Justice 1 for 2 today. You know, it's interesting. He's a .311 hitter on the season. He hits .349 on the road, but just .237 here at home for the Dirty Birds. Denson out of the stretch. The 0-1. Big curveball just inside, and we're even. Connor Justice back in onto the dish. Justice the shortstop for this Charleston Dirty Birds team. The 1-1. High in the sky, way over our heads, and the count of ball and 2 strikes. Justice, 27 years old, originally drafted by the Angels in the 5th round of the 2016 MLB draft out of the Georgia Institute of Technology in Atlanta. A Cartersville, Georgia native, steps back into the right-handed batter's box. The 1-2 from Denson Hole. In the dirt, and it goes down as ball number 2. Justice reached as high as the AA level with the Angels back in 2019. In the COVID year in 2020, he played a little bit of MLB Partner League ball with the St. Paul Saints, who are now the AAA affiliate for the Minnesota Twins. Spent last season with the AAA affiliate of the Miami Marlins in the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Well struck, straightaway center field. Zach Collier under it and catches for out number 3. A much-needed 1-2-3 inning here for Denson Hole, and the Blue Crabs get us through 4. When we come back, top of the 5th action, Southern Maryland up to the plate. It'll be Alex Crosby, Zach Collier, and Braxton Lee on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Coach Doug's, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
All Pawn is Southern Maryland's premier pawn shop and is the official pawn shop of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Stop by and say hello today. They've been a part of the Southern Maryland community for 18 years. If you need some cash to hold you over, or if you're just doing some spring cleaning and want to clear some stuff out, please bring it by All Pawn and let them make you an offer. If you have broken jewelry or some that you just don't want anymore, please bring it by, and they'll pay you more than anyone in the Tri-County area. They're located on 301 in White Plains, just south of DeMar Road. Go Blue Crabs!
This is Matt Latos, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
See if the Crabs can't get it cracking here in the top of the fifth. Southern Maryland with just one hit to show for in their first 4 innings of action. Here is Alex Crosby, line shot to left center, but fielded nicely by the left fielder in Miles Williams. Looked off the bat like it might have had extra bases, but instead it goes down as a 1-pitch out number 1. Really good piece of contact there from Crosby. Zach Collier steps into the left-handed batter's box. As for Zach, this is just his second plate appearance as Jordan Stevens continues to work quickly on a Friday night in Charleston, West Virginia. Collier enters play as a .230 hitter on the season, struck out swinging his last time up. Stevens on his way home. Just getting a piece of it is Zach, and we're even at a ball and a strike. Give you time for our next trivia question. Of course, sitting here in the capital of West Virginia. Just a moment as a fastball misses high. Now, I would ask you what's the capital of Maryland. That's too easy. How about this one? What was the original capital of Maryland before it was Annapolis? Of course, we live just outside the nation's capital in Waldorf. We're here in the capital of West Virginia. So the question is, what is the original capital of the state of Maryland? As always, if you need a shout out, please do not hold back on dropping us a comment with your name and location. And as always, we'll give you a shout out. The 2-2 inside just got a piece almost of Zach Collier, and we're full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Collier, number 8 on the back of his jersey, awaiting the payoff pitch from Jordan Stevens. Just staying alive once more is Zach. And that's really one of the beautiful parts of Zach Collier's game. A guy that puts it out on the line every night, but oftentimes, even if he doesn't have the bat going, he's still really going to make the opposing pitcher work. See it here, pitch number 8 incoming from Jordan Stevens of this at-bat. Fastball down low, call it ball number 4. Check down to the third base umpire and Andy McPherson, who says he did not go around. So Collier, who has good speed, reaches base on a free pass. The first walk of this game for Jordan Stevens, who's allowed just 1 hit, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts through 4 1/3 innings of work. As for Denson Hull, the southpaw, through 4 innings, has allowed 3 runs on 6 hits, 3 strikeouts, and a walk. Here's Braxton Lee, who grounded out to the second baseman Scott Kelly his first time up. First pitch swinging, well struck, straightaway center field. Back goes Anthony Seymour, just in front of the outfield fence at 400 feet. He catches on the warning track for out number 2. The inning started with a 1-pitch Alex Crosby line out. Then we saw a 9-pitch walk to Zach Collier before Braxton Lee just lined out to center field to Anthony Seymour. Here comes Joe DeLuca, the switch-hitting catcher for the Blue Crabs, finished the 2021 campaign on a 17-game hit streak in which he led the Atlantic League in batting average at .438. First pitch swinging is Joe, who goes down in the count at no balls and a strike. DeLuca doing the catching duties today for the Blue Crabs for the first time this season. Started the year with the AAA affiliate of the Cincinnati Reds and the Louisville Bats. No balls and a strike. The pitch swung on and missed from DeLuca, who falls behind 0-2. Joe, one of 3 catchers on Southern Maryland's roster. 6'3", 235 pounds out of Cicero, New York. The big switch-hitting catcher awaits the 0-2 pitch. Here it is. Inside on the 0-2. And we mentioned it, Southern Maryland hit Jordan Stevens well last time. See if they can start duplicating that here as his outing continues. Stevens has thrown 63 pitches, just 2 more than Denson Hull. Now he is into his 5th inning of action as Stevens. Fastball inside, called strike number 3, and that's how we get halfway through this contest. Jordan Stevens has been masterful through 5 as Denson Hull comes back onto the mound when we return on your home for Blue Crabs baseball, the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Daryl Thompson, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Chick-fil-A of Charles County has been a proud supporter of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs since their inception in 2008. For years, they have sponsored the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, America's prisoners of war and missing in action. In between the second inning of each game, there is a moment of silence brought to you by Chick-fil-A. The Southern Maryland Blue Crabs appreciate and respect not only Chick-fil-A, but all of those that have served our great country. The seat that they sponsor was made possible by Chick-fil-A of Charles County. Thank you so much, and visit any of your Charles County Chick-fil-A locations today.
This is David Harris, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Here comes Denson Hull out for his 5th inning of work. The Southpaw allowed 1 run back in the first inning. It was on a 2-out base hit single that drove in Juan Perez. Diego Goris, the man with the RBI. The other 2 runs came in the 3rd inning. Anthony Seymour led off the 3rd inning of action with a solo shot, and Diego Goris also hit a solo shot. Speaking of Anthony Seymour, here he comes up to the plate. And the right-handed hitting center fielder has been scorching hot this season. A .302 batting average, 2 home runs, 12 RBIs. Seymour shows bunt. Trying to sneak one past Southern Maryland, but it gets foul. Call it strike number 1. The Blue Crabs have only faced the Dirty Birds once this season. It was back in Southern Maryland, in which the Blue Crabs got a 3-game sweep. Denson Hull did start against them once, went 7 innings, allowing just 1 run. The 0-1 to Anthony Seymour on its way. Big curveball just outside the zone, and we're even at a ball and a strike. As for Denson Hull, he's topped out at 90 miles an hour on the gun this evening. That Anthony Seymour solo shot earlier in the game was the furthest hit baseball in this contest. It landed 373 feet away from home plate. And Seymour's first at bat, he grounded into a double play. 2 balls and a strike. Denson Hole out of the stretch. Well struck, well foul, and we're even at 2-2. Again, awaiting on the answer for our trivia question for today. Our next one, I should say, as this one misses inside. 3 balls, 2 strikes the count. Of course, we're in the capital of West Virginia here in Charleston. We mentioned, of course, we're not going to ask you what's the capital of Maryland. We're going to say what was the first capital of the state of Maryland. Drop your answers in the YouTube chat or on Facebook, and we'll give you the answer in the next half inning. Payoff pitch on its way from Denson Hole. Elevated fastball swung on and missed. Strike number 3, and Denton gets a much-needed K. Seymour chased an elevated fastball, and that's how Denton Hole sets down his next batter. That brings up Angel Garcet. Garcet, a 147 hitter in this 2022 campaign, has played in 17 games. And the pitch. Right down Darryl Thompson drive for strike number 1. This is second season of professional baseball. Played just 15 games back in the COVID year in 2020. Right over our heads, strike number 2. Played for the Jersey Wise Guys in the All-American Baseball Classic. A pop-up team just for the COVID year. As for Denson Hole, he's set down 5 straight Dirty Birds. See if he can make it 6. Elevated fastball in the face of Angel Garcet. He's able to get out of the way. The count 1-2. Fastball inside, ball number 2. And Angel Garcet has entered this game in place of Juan Perez. Perez, one of the top hitters in the Atlantic League, fouled one off his shin his last time up, bringing up Angel Garcet. Big looping curveball just outside the zone, and the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So a big blow to the Dirty Birds as they lose statistically the best hitter in their lineup in Juan Perez. Perez doubled earlier, later scored. Also, he has the second best batting average in the last 10 games in the Atlantic League. High fly should stay in the infield as Jared Walker creeps into the infield grass. Is able to range it down, call it an F3, and Denson Hole set down 6 straight Dirty Birds. Looks like we're starting to get a couple of answers on our YouTube and Facebook feeds. Wes Mumper gave us one of our answers, as well as Lucky Kale also gave us an answer. The question again was, what is the original capital city of the state of Maryland? Your hint? It's in southern Maryland, the best part of the state. Your Crabs on a 13-game road trip, game 4 of it, right here in Charleston, West Virginia. Big curveball in there for a called strike as Diego Goris goes down early in the count. Goris 2 for 2 today. Had an RBI single back in the first before a solo shot in the third. No balls and a strike. Hole on his way home. Line drive softly hit into left center field. Collier's unable to get it. It bounces off the end of his glove, but staying put at first is Diego Goris, who entered into this game hitting .219 for the Dirty Birds in 8 games, but starts off this contest 3 hits in 3 attempts. Those 3 hits in this contest for Diego Goris account for 3 of the 7 Dirty Birds hits in this game. Southern Maryland with just 1 hit and 2 errors on their ledger. 2 away after the base knock as Angel Beltre belts one back into the protective netting. The Toast Man, the on-field host for the Dirty Birds, putting up a sign that says, "Hark the Herald, Angel sings," for Angel Beltre. Beautiful off-speed, swung on and missed. 0-2 goes the count. Last chance to get in those answers on our trivia questions. What was the original capital of the state of Maryland? Of course, we're here in the capital of West Virginia, in Charleston. And as we know, Waldorf just outside of our nation's capital. No balls, 2 strikes, a left-on-left matchup for Denson Hole. Out of the stretch, pick off to first, not quite in time. Diving back was Diego Goris. And a really nice pickoff attempt from Denson Hole. The Dirty Birds so far in this game, 7 for 21 at the plate. They entered this game 22 for 102 at the plate against the Blue Crabs on the season. Slider way outside, and the count of ball and 2 strikes. 3-0 Charleston on top here early. They got 1 run back in the first before a pair of solo shots in the third gave them a 3-0 lead, one they continue to hold here in this bottom half of the 5th. Andrew Banster here with you on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Hall, a long pause on the mound, and the pitch. Fastball low and away, and we're even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch count started to creep up for Denson Hole. That was his 84th pitch offered of this contest. As for Jordan Stevens, Charleston starter, he's thrown 67 pitches through 5 innings. No action in Southern Maryland's bullpen. The 2-2 just staying alive is Angel Beltre, who fouls yet another pitch off. Beltre played in the MLB back in 2013. The 32-year-old made his debut at the age of 23. Two balls, 2 strikes, and a runner at first. Goris goes on the pitch, soft chopper up the middle. Hole fields it himself. Underhand flips to a covering Jared Walker at first base to put the Dirty Birds away in the 5th. We're through 5 here at Appalachian Power Park. To the top of the 6th we go on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Patrick Baker, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
When you need a win on the road, don't get left stranded. Make AAA part of your roster, and you'll always have someone on deck ready to get you home. AAA also offers car care, insurance, and travel services, and has stores conveniently located for Blue Crabs fans in Brandywine, Crofton, and Alexandria. Don't forget to ask them about membership discounts for military and first responders. Please visit AAA.com to learn more or to find a AAA location near you.
This is Dalton Geeky, and you're listening to Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Into the top of the sixth we go here in Charleston, West Virginia. It's time for your answer to your trivia question, the second trivia question of the night. The question was, what was the original capital of the state of Maryland? We had two guesses in our comments. Both Wes Mumper and Lucky Kale got it right. St. Mary's City, the answer. Of course, down in southern Maryland before it moved up to Annapolis. We'll have more trivia questions going throughout the night. And remember, drop your name and where you're watching from, and we'll give you a shout-out as always. Michael Baca up to the plate. Soft popper right in the middle of the infield, and it's caught by the first baseman, Diego Goris, for out number one. Baca singled in his first time up. Still the only hit for the Blue Crabs as they've now gone through the order 2 full times. Jack Sundberg now up to the dish. Sundberg from the left side. Shows bunt, puts down a good one, but it's foul as strike number one comes and goes. Sundberg struck out swinging back in the first, struck out looking back in the third. Jordan Stevens, who entered play with a 6.82 ERA, has allowed just one hit, no runs through 5 1/3 innings of work. 1 walk and 7 strikeouts for the right-hander. In 6 starts, Jordan Stevens had only struck out more than 4 batters once. Struck out 8 of them in his 4th start of the season. Sundberg gets a piece of this one into left field. Over goes Miles Williams, who ranges it down near the foul line, and it's good for out number 2. 2 quick outs for the Blue Crabs bring up Raul Shaw. He's riding a 9-game hit streak. 3rd time up to the plate for Shaw. Raul struck out back in the 1st inning before flying out to his counterpart second baseman back in the 4th. 2 away, nobody on as Shaw awaits Jordan Stevens' pitch. First pitch swinging into shallow right field. Over goes Angel Garced, who catches for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down for Southern Maryland in the top half of the 6th inning. When we come back, Denson Holback onto the mound on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Andres Riceno, and you are listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
So, what do you like about your home?
Practice like hockey. I practice stick handling and sometimes shooting. Mommy. Go outside sometimes. I like playing lacrosse. Playing the switch. I like the scribble. Daddy. I like to build Legos at home. I have the biggest closet. Riding my dirt bike.
We help you home. At Hometown Real Estate, we want to help you and your family home. Whatever that takes and whatever that means to you. Give us a call at 888-225-2736 or online at helpyouhomebluecrabs.com.
To the bottom of the 6th we go here on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Southern Maryland trailing 3-0 as we head in to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Denson Hole back out for his 6th inning of work, and he'll face off against the 6, 7, 8 of the Dirty Birds lineup. Alfredo Gonzalez leads things off. Scott Burcham on deck with Miles Williams standing in the hole. Denson Hole to this point in the game, 5 innings pitched, 7 hits allowed, 3 runs all earned. As the first pitch misses just outside, it's a changeup to Alfredo Gonzalez. Gonzalez flew out to right field to end the first inning, almost recorded the third and final out of the 3rd inning, but reached on a walk after a long 3-2 count, and then stole second and advanced to third on an error. Ended up being stranded as Scott Burcham, the man on deck, struck out to end the inning. A ball and a strike the count. Gonzalez, a .222 hitter on the year. No home runs, 1 RBI for the catcher. Hole out of the stretch, the pitch. Just down low in the count, 2 balls and a strike. As always, we really appreciate you tuning in on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Thrilled to be bringing you Road Blue Crabs baseball for the first season that the Blue Crabs have done so. Shout out to Lucky Kale watching in La Plata. Fans far and wide tuning in to tonight's matchup. 3 balls and a strike the count as Denson Hole looks in for his sign. The pitch on the way. Elevated fastball challenging the catcher who comes up shy. We're now full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Still no true action in Southern Maryland's bullpen, but Nick Wells does have his hoodie off, and he started to stretch down in the bullpen. Action 2 in Charleston's bullpen. Get you a number on the individual when we can. The payoff pitch to the right side. Jared Walker fields and steps on first for out number 1. Jordan Stevens has been great in this game, but has thrown nearly 80 pitches. And that's the reason why Kevin Segrist, the MLB veteran, is warming in Charleston's bullpen. Here comes Scott Burcham. Burcham 0 for 2 today. Had an at-bat in the 2nd and another in the 3rd. Burcham, a .207 hitter on the season. Acquired by the Dirty Birds via trade about a week into the 2022 campaign. 1 away, nobody on. Hole's curveball in there for a called strike. Charleston's fans didn't love the call from Justin Burton, but if you're a Southern Maryland fan, you'll take it. No balls and a strike the count to Scott Burcham. From the right side, awaiting the pitch. Another curveball jams him up as he fouls it out of play. No balls and 2 strikes the count. Bottom of the 6th action here in Charleston, West Virginia. Andrew Banstra here with you on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Hole out of the stretch, the 0-2. Cutter inside, just barely off the plate. And Burcham's at bat stays alive. A ball and 2 strikes the count. Burcham 1 for 9 in this homestand at the plate. And the pitch. Curveball nubs off the end of the bat. Hole fields his position well. Spins and an underhand flip to first is good for out number 2. Denson's really worked into a groove. He allowed a pair of solo shots back in the 3rd inning, but dating back to the final out of the 3rd inning, Denson has retired 7 of the last 8 batters that he's faced, and now Miles Williams comes to the plate. Make that 8 of the last 9, I should say. Hole trying to retire the side in order for just the second time in this game. Denson on his way home to Miles Williams with a fastball that misses high for ball number 1. Mentioned that Denson Hole entered this game with the third best ERA in the Atlantic League. Still a minuscule ERA down at 1.95. And that's kind of the thing about it, as Williams swings and misses. For Denson Hole, this would be an outlier start in which it's not one of his best, but it's still going to be a quality start if everything continues as it looks. He's nearly 6 innings in with only 3 Dirty Birds runs on the board. So by all metrics, still a fantastic start for Denson Hole. A ball and a strike the count. Williams takes a curveball off the outer edge. Miles has struggled against southpaws this year. He has just 2 hits and 22 at-bats against lefties. A 157 hitter on the year from the right side. Fastball inside, and the count now 3 balls and a strike from Denson Hole. Hole's walked just 1 batter in this game, struck out a quartet. Only 1 free pass from each side in this contest. Denson on his way home with the 3-1. Miles Williams offers and fouls out of play, and the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch number 100 will be his next for Denson Hole. Strictly based off of pitch count, you could imagine this might be his last inning of work. Triple digits inbound for the southpaw. The payoff pitch to Miles Williams will have to wait as he steps out and calls time. Hole rubs his hand in some dirt to get some traction, wipes it off on his pants, and he's got his sign. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The payoff pitch from Hole once more. Chopped to the left side, foul, fielded by the manager, Billy Horn, who stands in as tonight's third base coach for the Dirty Birds. Another shout out, Louise Montgomery watching from Bryantown. She says it's storming back in Bryantown this evening. Thanks for tuning in as always, Louise. The 3-2 from Hole. Struck foul once more, and Miles Williams continues to fight here in this count. Denson Hole working a long and drawn out at bat here, trying to win the battle. Pitch number 8 of this at bat on its way from Denson Hole. The 3-2. Fastball elevated and just a touch off the plate. Looked awfully close, but it goes down as ball number 4. The second free pass offered this evening by the left-hander in Denson Hole. That's the beauty sometimes of working those long counts. Sometimes you just have to put it somewhere outside of the zone so he can't just foul it off. And Williams with good plate discipline to hold off on ball number 4 as Scott Kelly comes up to the right-handed batter's box. Daryl Thompson, the pitching coach for the Blue Crabs, signaling down to the bullpen to get ready in a hurry. Scott Kelly, the man at the dish. He'll have to wait as a pickoff move to first brings Miles Williams back. Kelly 1 for 2 today. He doubled back in the second inning, but later found himself stranded. Another pickoff move. Back in time once more. 5 pickoff moves this evening for Denson Hole. Only one of them was really close, but especially as a lefty, you got to keep those runners safe. And it goes down as a balk against Denson Hole. Looks like he fidgeted that back foot, and the first base umpire in Rob Massaro says it's a balk. Hull's arguing, and to be honest, I would tend to agree with the left-hander. Alex Marathew now warming quickly in Southern Maryland's bullpen. The potential fourth Dirty Birds run of the game stands in scoring position in the form of Miles Williams, who has good speed. The pitch, high in the night sky. DeLuca trying to find it. And there he is. Finds it, puts it in the back of the mitt, and that's out number 3. That's how we get a third of the way through this game. A 3-0 Dirty Birds lead takes us into the 7th on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Patrick Baker, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
American Radiology is the clear choice for all of your medical imaging needs. With locations in Charles and Calvert counties, they offer a full range of imaging services. Some of their latest innovations included 3D mammography and wide-open MRIs for our claustrophobic patients. For your convenience, they even offer extended weekday hours and Saturdays. For more information or to schedule an appointment, visit their website at AmericanRadiology.com.
This is David Harris, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
To the top of the 7th we go here in Charleston, West Virginia. Andrew Banstra here with you as the Crabs trail 3-0 into the top of the 7th. They have successfully knocked out Jordan Stevens, the Charleston Dirty Birds starting pitcher, who really had a fantastic night. Entered play with an ERA almost at 8, but in 6 innings tonight he allowed just 1 hit, walked 1 batter, and struck out 7. He gives way to a newcomer into this game, and Kevin Segrist, a 6'5", 230-pound lefty, originally from Buffalo, New York. The only pitcher on this Charleston Dirty Birds roster with MLB experience is Kevin Segrist, and he takes the mound. 72 pitches thrown for Jordan Stevens in his 6 innings of work. Through 6 Denson holes, allowed 3 earned, 7 hits, and 104 pitches thrown. More action in Southern Maryland's bullpen as Dalton Geeky and Dario Polanco start to warm up. First pitch to Jared Walker from Kevin Segrist. In there for a called strike, and we're underway in the top of the 7th. Kevin Segrist mentioned the fact that the Southpaw is an MLB veteran. Made his MLB debut back in 2013 as Walker takes a ball down low, where he even had a ball and a strike. Segrist debuted in 2013, was phenomenal that season. In 45 games pitched, he allowed a total of 2 earned runs. How about a .45 ERA at the MLB level? The 1-1 outside. In 2015, Kevin Segrist appeared in 81 games, an MLB league leading 81 games. All told, he pitched in 269 MLB games to the tune of a 3.03 ERA. Jared Walker awaiting the 2-1. Fouls it back into the netting, and the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kevin Segrist back out onto the mound, facing off against Jared Walker. Segrist, the 5-year MLB veteran, most recently appeared for the Philadelphia Phillies in 2017. Segrist picks up strike number 3. Looked like it was a little off the plate. Jared Walker saw the same thing I did, but the home plate umpire in Justin Burton calls it strike number 3. That brings up David Harris. Harris 0 for 2 tonight. A ground out to the third baseman Scott Burcham back in the second inning, as well as a strikeout in the fourth. First pitch to David Harris, a sweeping slider that swung on and missed. Charleston's relievers this season have been in the top half of the Atlantic League, a 4.36 ERA for the bullpen in Charleston. The 0-1. Well struck, right center field. Probably hangs up a little bit too high, but it's got good distance. Back to the track, and the center fielder, Anthony Seymour, grabs it on the run somehow. It looked like it was really going to get up and out of here. Not a lot of wind tonight, and it holds that ball just back of getting out of this ballpark, and it goes down as a long out number 2. Incredibly for Kevin Segrist, according to Baseball Reference, this is his first appearance in professional baseball since 2017. Get to that in a moment. Alex Crosby takes the first pitch he sees for strike number 1. Segrist started his professional career in 2008 at the age of 18. Last pitched in the MLB in 2017, and that his last professional appearance. Here 5 years later, getting it going on a Friday night in Charleston. Fastball off the plate, a ball and a strike, the count to Alex Crosby. Crosby grounded out to the second baseman, Scott Kelly, in his first plate appearance back in the second inning before ripping a line drive right at the left fielder and Angel Garced back in the fifth. The 1-1. Fastball outside, and the count 2-1. The 2-1, big swing from Alex Crosby, and the count now 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2, just getting a piece of it is Alex Crosby. Kevin Segrist has thrown the fastest pitch in this entire game at 93 miles an hour. That would generally be middle of the pack, but that's the fastest we've seen here tonight in Charleston. Left on left matchup continues. Bottom make that top of the 7th. 2 away. Swing and a miss from Alex Crosby, who goes down on strikes. That brings us into the 7th inning stretch. Stand up, stretch those legs, grab something to eat, maybe something to wash it down with. We'll be right back. 7th inning stretch time here in Charleston.
This is Daryl Thompson, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
When you're in the market to buy or sell a home, call Tony McClure of Century 21 New Millennium and his Grand Slam team, the realtor of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs since our first season in 2008. Tony and his team of preferred partners includes Tim Murphy of CNF Mortgage and Steve Scott of the Scott Law Group. Together, they will ensure that your real estate needs are nothing short of a grand slam. The quality service you will receive is Hall of Fame worthy. Put Tony's 41-plus years of experience to work for you. Call or text Tony today at 301-928-1280 for your personal Grand Slam experience. Go Blue Crabs. Did you know that the Washington, D.C. metro area is the 5th most expensive place to live in the entire United States of America? Sometimes finding affordable housing in this area can feel impossible. If you're struggling to find affordable housing, look no further than the Villages of St. Charles by Ross Properties. You can visit them online at villagesatstcharles.com for more information today. Villages of St. Charles. They'll have you safe at home.
This is Joe DeLuca, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
7th inning stretch has come and gone. I stood up, stretched my legs a little bit, got something to drink, nothing to eat. Let me know what you guys did for the 7th inning stretch in the comments. Since we've last seen you, we've got a new arm on the mound for Southern Maryland. It's the left-hander Dario Polanco who takes the hill for your Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Polanco, a left-handed reliever for your Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, has found his way to the mound quite a few times in this 2022 season. This is 9th appearance for Southern Maryland in their 31st game played. He's 2-0 on the season with a 9.35 ERA, has allowed 9 earned runs in 8 2/3 innings pitched. He has walked 9 batters, 6 strikeouts for the southpaw, who steps onto the mound here in the bottom of the 7th inning. He'll start things off against the top of the order. Connor Justice, the first man to the dish, as he swings and sends one into left field. Jack Sundberg grabs it for out number 1. Fly out to the left fielder gets us started here in the bottom half of the 7th inning as Anthony Seymour steps up to the plate. And that brings us into our third and final trivia question of the night. The name Anthony may sound like one you may not have heard, but most likely, if you follow basketball at all, you do know a Anthony, who was the former big-time star that played for the Orlando Magic with Shaq, whose real first name was Anthony. Again, the spelling on that is Anfernee, Anthony. The question is, what former Orlando Magic superstar who had his first name was actually Anthony, went by something else? It's our final trivia question of the night here on a Friday night in Charleston, West Virginia. No balls, 2 strikes, nobody on, 1 away here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Southern Maryland to this point in the game with just 1 hit. Trying to get it going in the latter stages of this contest. Polanco, the southpaw, working from the first base side of the rubber, and the pitch. Curveball chopped to the left side, high bounce for Michael Baca, who fields, fires, and records out number 2. 2 quick outs for Dario Polanco. Three to 0 the score. Charleston on top. Southern Maryland will be looking for some of their late inning heroics once more here this evening. First pitch from Dario Polanco to Angel Garced. Foul tip off the protective face mask of Joe DeLuca. Angel Garced subbed into this game in the 5th inning when Juan Perez went down with an injury. He fouled a baseball off of his ankle. No balls, 2 strikes. Dario Polanco trying to work a 1-2-3 7th inning. The pitch. Line drive, left center field. Jack Sundberg on the run. Can't get there in time as it drops in front of him for a base hit single. Angel Garced rounds first and retreats. And now 2 away. Brings up the cleanup man in this Charleston order. Really the last guy that you'd like to face right now if you're Dario Polanco. Diego Goris came into this game batting .219 in 8 games played, but a 3-for-3 start to this contest has brought his batting average all the way up to .286. Entered play with no home runs, 2 RBIs. He's got a homer and 2 RBIs in this game. Polanco's first pitch in there for a strike. Southern Maryland facing off against Charleston for just the 2nd time in this 2022 season. After this 4-game Memorial Day weekend set, they'll see each other next in mid-June right here in Charleston. The 0-1 curveball outside, call it ball number 1. The Blue Crabs will also see the Dirty Birds at home for a 2-game homestand on July 4th and July 5th. A ball and a strike the count. Polanco's pitch. Struck foul. As Diego Goris steps back into the right-handed batter's box. Nick Longy got the night off. Generally the first baseman and cleanup hitter for this Dirty Birds squad. Pick off to first, not in time. A ball and 2 strikes. 2 away with 1 on here in the bottom of the 7th. Another pickoff move to first, just keeping him close to the displeasure of the Dirty Bird faithful. Polanco awaiting the 1-2 once more. Diego Goris at the dish. Left on right matchup and the pitch. Fouled over our heads once more, and we'll stay at a ball and 2 strikes. Diego Goris has played as high as the AAA level. .5'11", 200 pounds out of Santiago, Dominican Republic. Playing first base for the Dirty Birds today. A long look home from Dario Polanco. And the 1-2. Curveball swung on and missed. Such a good pitch, in fact, that Diego Goris points out at Dario Polanco. Says, nice pitch. We'll take it as we head into the top of the 8th inning. 4 batters faced, shutting down 3 of them was Dario Polanco. That sends us into the 8th. We'll be right back on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
American Radiology is the clear choice for all of your medical imaging needs. With locations in Charles and Calvert counties, they offer a full range of imaging services. Some of their latest innovations included 3D mammography and wide-open MRIs for our claustrophobic patients. For your convenience, they even offer extended weekday hours and Saturdays. For more information or to schedule an appointment, visit their website at AmericanRadiology.com.
This is Josh McAdams, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
When you're in the market to buy or sell a home, call Tony McClure of Century 21 New Millennium and his Grand Slam team, the realtor of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs since our first season in 2008. Tony and his team of preferred partners includes Tim Murphy of CNF Mortgage and Steve Scott of the Scott Law Group. Together, they will ensure that your real estate needs are nothing short of a grand slam. The quality service you will receive is Hall of Fame worthy. Put Tony's 41-plus years of experience to work for you. Call or text Tony today at 301-928-1280 for your personal Grand Slam experience. Go Blue Crabs.
This is Matt Latos, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
To the top of the 8th we go. Southern Maryland will face off against the 3rd Dirty Birds pitcher that they've seen in this contest. The first was Jordan Stevens, who went 6 innings, allowing just 1 hit. Really good outing from the right-handed starter. Then came Kevin Segrist. He pitched 1 inning, allowing a runner aboard. As Zach Collier lays down a bunt, no attempt from the third baseman, Scott Burcham. It's more of a tip-your-cap type situation. Collier with a beautiful base hit bunt single. Just the second Blue Crabs hit of this game, and it comes against Walker Weichel, the newcomer into this contest for the Dirty Birds. As for number 45, Walker Weichel, on the season he's 2-0 with a 3.00 ERA. Should have said the right-hander as he retakes the mound. First pitch to Braxton Lee, just a little bit low and away. Weichel has faced the Blue Crabs 1 time. He allowed a run in 1 inning of work. Weichel's allowed at least 1 run in each of his last 2 appearances. See if the Blue Crabs can continue that trend. High chopper to the shortstop, Connor Justice, who gives up on the double play opportunity in favor of out number 1 as he fires across to first. And Zach Collier advances into scoring position. It's the first time in this entire ball game that a Blue Crab has been in scoring position. And a mound visit now for Walker Weichel to maybe change up some signs with a runner on second. Still action in the Blue Crabs bullpen. Alex Marathew warms up, as does Andres Briseño. Joe DeLuca, who began the season at the AAA level, steps back into the left-handed batter's box. Really just one of the best all-around guys that you'll come across in this game. And you'll see a lot of them in the Atlantic League, but Joe is just an absolutely outstanding individual who works really hard on the baseball field, and that's why he earned a spot in AAA to start this season. DeLuca from the left side. A ball and no strikes the count. The runner at second, Zach Collier. Here comes the pitch from Weichel. Fastball low and at the knees, but it's called strike number 1. DeLuca from the left side, the switch hitting catcher. A native of Cicero, New York. Came through time and time again for the Blue Crabs in 2021. DeLuca from the left side. Collier in scoring position. The pitch. Swung on and missed, and the count 1-2. In Weichel's first 10 appearances this year, he allowed just 1 earned run, but in 3 of his last 5 appearances, he's allowed a run, totaling to 4 in his last 5 appearances. DeLuca still awaiting from the left side. A ball and 2 strikes the count. And the pitch. Curveball off the plate, and we're even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Billy Horn opted to use his only MLB experienced pitcher in Kevin Segrist back in the 7th. More action in Southern Maryland's bullpen as Andres Briseño and Alex Merrithew continue to warm. The pitch. Inside, swung on and missed, and it goes down as strike number 3. DeLuca goes down on strikes, and it makes way for a pinch-hitting Austin Rye. Rye will bat in the spot of Michael Baca. Baca has the only true hit for the Blue Crabs in today's contest. It was a single back in the 3rd inning, but Austin Rye, who's top 10 in the Atlantic League in batting average over the last 10 games, will get a chance to come up clutch here in the top half of the 8th inning. The other of Southern Maryland's 2 hits came earlier in this frame. It was a bunt single from Zach Collier, who was advanced to second on a ground out from Braxton Lee. Walker Weichel now facing the pinch-hitting Austin Rye. First pitch swinging. Goes down as strike number 1 and number 11 behind in the count. No balls and a strike. Rye, the pinch hitter. Walker Weichel on the mound. Elevated fastball, backing up Rye off the plate. We're even at a ball and a strike. Southern Maryland 23-7 on the season, sitting comfortably in first place, 8.5 games up on the Long Island Ducks. Haven't forgotten about our last trivia question of the night. Talked about Anthony Seymour. The question was, which former Orlando Magic superstar's real name was also Anthony? The pitch. 1-1 fouled over our heads, and a count of ball and 2 strikes. Walker Weichel was originally a first-round draft pick out of Olympia High School in Orlando. Played for the USA national team at the age of 18. And after being drafted in the first round by the Padres, he'd reach as high as the Double-A level in 2019. Weichel, a solid arm out of the pen for Billy Horn and the Dirty Birds. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A runner on second base is Zach Collier, as Southern Maryland looks to scratch across their first of this game. The pitch. Just staying alive is Austin Rye. Just gets out of play into the Bud Light party deck in right field. Austin Rye working a long and drawn-out at bat. Pitch number 6 incoming. Rye, the pinch hitter. One of 3 catchers on this Blue Crabs roster. Southern Maryland scoreless here in the top of the 8th. Rye from the right side, battling with Walker Weichel here in the top half of the 8th. The pitch, curveball in there, called strike number 3, and the pinch hitting Austin Rye goes down on strikes to get us through the Blue Crabs half of the 8th. When we come back, a newcomer onto the mound, Alex Merrithew, when we return on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Daryl Thompson, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Chick-fil-A of Charles County has been a proud supporter of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs since their inception in 2008. For years, they have sponsored the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, America's prisoners of war and missing in action. In between the second inning of each game, there is a moment of silence brought to you by Chick-fil-A. The Southern Maryland Blue Crabs appreciate and respect not only Chick-fil-A, but all of those that have served our great country. The seat that they sponsor was made possible by Chick-fil-A of Charles County. Thank you so much, and visit any of your Charles County Chick-fil-A locations today.
This is Coach Doug's, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
After Dario Polanco set down the Dirty Birds back in the 7th inning, here in the bottom of the 8th, it'll be Alex Merrithew trying to do the same. Merrithew, in 10 appearances this year, holds a 6.52 ERA. He has allowed 12 hits in 9 2/3 innings of work, 5 strikeouts, no walks for the right-hander, as the right-hander tries to keep the deficit right where it is as Matt Lato starts warming up in Southern Maryland's bullpen. Merrithew on his way home. First pitch outside, ball number 1. It's Angel Beltre starting things off. It'll be Beltre, Alfredo Gonzalez, and Scotty Burcham. Swing and a miss from Angel Beltre. Pulled the string on it, did Merrithew. Beltre, the MLB veteran, sees a fastball at the feet. 2 balls and a strike the count as Alex Merrithew assumes the mound for the first time in this contest. Looking back at the pitching to this point, Denson Hole got the start for Southern Maryland as Beltre fouls one down the third base line. In 6 innings of work, Hole allowed 3 runs all earned, 7 hits, 2 walks. Jordan Stevens for the Dirty Birds allowed just 1 hit, no runs in 6 innings of action. Dario Polanco and Kevin Segrist for each side through a scoreless 7th. Walker Weichel did so as well in the 8th, and Alex Merrithew trying to do the same. Ball number 3 misses upstairs. Line drive, right field. That could be extra bases, but Braxton Lee cuts it off in the right field corner, keeping it down to a single. And we've got some defensive changes to bring you up to speed on, ladies and gentlemen. After the base knock from Angel Beltre. Of course, we remember that Michael Baca was taken out of the game in favor of Austin Rye as a pinch hitter. And when Rye came in, he was taken out right afterwards. Ian Yetzko in place of Michael Baca. Yetzko now playing shortstop for the Blue Crabs. High fly left side, and it's out of here. Alfredo Gonzalez with his first home run of the season. And it makes this game a lot less manageable for your Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, who now trail 5-0. Two up, 2 score for the Dirty Birds, who now lead this contest by a score of 5-0. That brings up Scott Burcham, 7-8-9 due up for the Dirty Birds. Merrithew's first pitch fouled back into the protective netting. No balls and a strike the count. Burcham 0 for 3 today. The Dirty Birds with 10 hits in the contest, comparing to the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs 2. Soft blooper into right field. Zach Colley arranging back. Ball carried a little more than it initially looked like it may have. And just in front of the warning track, Zach Collier tracks it down for out number 1. Happy to hear that it sounds like most of the rain has exited Southern Maryland. And it looks like we have a answer to our trivia question. Told you we'd get to it here in the bottom half of the 8th. The question was, Anthony Seymour, the man manning center field for the Dirty Birds, the question was, what other Anthony was a superstar for the Orlando Magic? Matt Nemec got the answer right. It was Penny Hardaway. Penny Hardaway, one of those individuals you wonder what could have been if it wasn't for injuries. His real name is Anthony. It's the third and final trivia question of today's contest. No balls, 2 strikes. Fastball swung on and missed. Beg your pardon, an off-speed swung on and missed. And 2 quick outs for Alex Merrithew. Two away, nobody on. The Dirty Birds' runs have come in bunches in this game. They plated 1 back in the first, had a couple of solo shots in the third. And now the 2-run home run here in the 8th, making a 5-0 Charleston lead. Scott Kelly up to the dish, a .233 hitter on the year. Watches strike number 1 cross right down Daryl Thompson drive. Merrithew on the mound, the right-hander. Out of the stretch, the pitch. Cutter off the plate. We're even at a ball and a strike. Looked like we were going to get some rain here this evening, but the tarp was pulled right before first pitch and haven't seen a drop since. On my drive from Southern Maryland to Charleston, it was pouring at least half of the time. Off speed upstairs, called strike number 2. Current temperature is 62 here in Charleston. A nice night for baseball. A ball and 2 strikes the count. The pitch to Scott Kelly. Elevated fastball, swung on and missed. And after allowing a single and a 2-run home run, Alex Merrithew sets down the Dirty Birds in order. Southern Maryland's got some work to do when we return. 5-0, Charleston on top, headed to the top of the 9th on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
When you need a win on the road, don't get left stranded. Make AAA part of your roster and you'll always have someone on deck ready to get you home. AAA also offers car care, insurance, and travel services, and has stores conveniently located for Blue Crabs fans in Brandywine, Crofton, and Alexandria. Don't forget to ask them about membership discounts for military and first responders. Please visit AAA.com to learn more or to find a AAA location near you.
To the top of the 9th we go here at Appalachian Power Park. Your Southern Maryland Blue Crabs have some work to do as we take it into the final frame of regulation. Top of the order, due up for Southern Maryland. And onto the mound, a newcomer for this Charleston Dirty Birds team. It's Tyler Wilson, a right-hander who gets things started with a called strike to Jack Sundberg. It'll be Sundberg, Raul Shaw, and Jared Walker to start this inning for Southern Maryland. So far in the game, Sundberg 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. Foul ball to the left side, no balls and 2 strikes goes the count. Sundberg, a .215 hitter on the season, Top 5 in the Atlantic League in walks and top 5 in the Atlantic League in stolen bases. Wilson's pitch, big curveball inside, and it misses for ball number 1. The 1-2, Tyler Wilson on his way. Fastball misses high, and we're even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sundberg from the left side. And the pitch. Curveball. Just a touch low, and we're full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Wilson wanted that call. Not going to get it from the home plate umpire in Justin Burton. And now the payoff pitch looming. The right-hander working on Jack Sundberg. The 3-2, high fastball swung on and missed. And the Crabs are down to their final 2 outs here in a series opener in Charleston, West Virginia. That brings up Raul Shaw. Shaw so far in the game 0 for 3. His 9-game hit streak on the line here in this top half of the 9th inning. Shaw, on his highest level of professional baseball in the Atlantic League, has absolutely crushed it this year. 328 hitter with 3 home runs and a 931 OPS. Shaw with a soft line drive to the shortstop in Connor Justice, who catches for out number 2, and that likely spells the end of a 9-game hit streak for Raul Shaw. 5-0, Dirty Birds on top as the Crabs are down to their final strike. Jared Walker up to the dish. 0 for 3 so far today with a pair of strikeouts. Walker, number 24 on the back of his jersey. As the power-hitting first baseman steps in. First pitch, watches it go. And it's called strike number 1. Walker from the left side. Swings on an 0-1 curveball. And it goes down as strike number 2. Just like that, Southern Maryland down to their final out here on a Friday night. Walker trying to extend this game in any way, shape, or form. The pitch. Curveball just outside the zone. A ball and 2 strikes. Good plate discipline from number 24. The 1-2. Right on left matchup. As Walker calls time. Jared, a Powder Springs, Georgia native, with tremendous power from the left side. See if he can't show that off here with a 1-2 count. Fastball just off the plate, and the count 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Southern Maryland with just 2 hits in this game to accompany a pair of errors. Number 2-4 at the dish. And the pitch. Curveball chopped right back up the middle. Here comes Connor Justice, who fires. The throw is in time. Looked like it might have pulled the runner off make that the first baseman, and Goris off the base. It did not. And that's how we say goodbye to a ball game here on a Friday night in Charleston, West Virginia. Final score, Dirty Birds 5, Blue Crabs 0, right here from Charleston, West Virginia. Southern Maryland still comfortably sitting in first place. 8.5 games up on the Long Island Ducks, depending on what happens in their game this evening. I just checked, it was 1-1, Ducks and Ferry Hawks. We'll step aside for just a moment before the postgame show rolls on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Daryl Thompson, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
When you're in the market to buy or sell a home, call Tony McClure of Century 21 New Millennium and his Grand Slam team. The realtor of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs since our first season in 2008. Tony and his team of preferred partners includes Tim Murphy of CNF Mortgage and Steve Scott of the Scott Law Group. Together, they will ensure that your real estate needs are nothing short of a grand slam. The quality service you will receive is Hall of Fame worthy. Put Tony's 41 plus years of experience to work for you. Call or text Tony today at 301-928-1280 for your personal Grand Slam experience. Go Blue Crabs. Did you know that the Washington, D.C. metro area is the 5th most expensive place to live in the entire United States of America? Sometimes finding affordable housing in this area can feel impossible. If you're struggling to find affordable housing, look no further than the Villages of St. Charles by Ross Properties. You can visit them online at villagesatstcharles.com for more information today. Villages of St. Charles, they'll have you safe at home.
This is Joe DeLuca, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
The Crabs drop game 1 of a 4-game Memorial Day weekend set here in Charleston, West Virginia by a score of 5-0. Southern Maryland drops to 23-8 on this 2022 campaign. Running back through the scores, they were few and far between in this game. Southern Maryland had just 2 hits in the contest. One was a bunt single, the other was a single from Michael Baca, and that was back in the 3rd inning. Denson Hole really had a good game for the Blue Crabs tonight. 6 innings and a quality start, 3 runs all earned. Dario Polanco pitched a scoreless inning before Alex Marathieu let up a 2-run home run in the 8th inning. Jordan Stevens gets the win, deservingly so. Stevens went 6 innings, 7 strikeouts, allowing just 1 hit. Southern Maryland continues this road trip tomorrow. Game 5 of a 13-game road stand, and they'll send out to the mound Mitch Lampson right here from Charleston, West Virginia tomorrow. Tune in at the same time, 6:35 first pitch, 6:20. We'll go live. We'll see you then. I'm Andrew Banstra signing off on a Blue Crabs 5-0 defeat at the hands of the Charleston Dirty Birds. Thanks so much for spending your evening with us. And as always, let's go Blue Crabs.